Dude, these are trimmings in PXC? Yeah.
So welcome to Hilaan or Tangisi Beach.
It's nice to see you.
We're going to be walking through Hilaan, and there's a lot of pottery on the ground. We've been advised that it is a violation of Guam law to touch it. So if you see anything that looks nice, just leave it on the ground. You can of course look at it, but they don't want people picking up. Most people will pick pottery up and put it up on the latte. So don't do that, just leave it on the ground. Pretty much it, right? Can I hook this? When we go swimming at Shark's Hole, be careful, there's a real crazy current out there. So don't go out too far. There's a channel that's been cut through the reef. Stay away from there. And that's all the safety. We're going to be hiking about 30 feet, 40 feet in from the coast. So if you do get lost, just walk towards the sound of the ocean. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you walk, assess, don't walk too far, because I made that mistake one time and I ended up lost for a good chunk of time out there. I didn't have my compass, so if you feel that you're losing the group, just go towards the beach and wait to meet up with the group.
Yeah, so thank you guys for all coming. Today you get to see the ancient village of Hilaan, which is pretty cool because you walk along the beach and you don't really see much except for the beautiful coastline. If you just go in 20 feet, you see 80 different labi, and a lot of them are lined up as they would have been for hundreds of years. And so when you look at them, some of them are still standing. You can actually imagine the houses that would have been there. And so when we get further into the area where the village is, I'll tell you some of the history of the village, because it has a really funky history. But and so then you can kind of imagine what it was like then, when you match up that history then with this area, with all of these houses that you can see. So eventually we're going to end up at the other end of this bay, because we're going to walk through the jungle and see all of the ladystones. Interestingly enough, if you ever look for the name Hilaan on any ancient Spanish maps, you won't find it. And that's because the way the Spanish would write down the word Hilaan was A-R-Y-A-N. Arian. And so the Spanish would call this the ancient village of Arian. And so it was a pretty populous village. It was well known when the Spanish first came in. They built a church here. And we don't know where the church was here, unfortunately. But if you ever dig, you might be able to find some remnants of it. So one of the things that made this village unique was, according to the priests, inside the church they had an oil lamp that was placed in front of an image of the Virgin Mary. And the oil in that lamp was always blessed by the Virgin Mary periodically. And so the oil there, if it was applied to somebody who was sick, it would cure whatever illness they had, no matter what it was. And so the priest said that oil was very important to them, because in a time when Chamorros were fighting against the Spanish, they would take the oil to different people, cure them, and then it would help convert the family. So the Spanish may have made that up, but they wrote about it several times. This village, when the Chamorros and Spanish fought against each other, this village was primarily for the Spanish, but it did have some elements which were against the Spanish. And so the priests would talk about this one plot where the Chamorros who hated the Spanish got together and they burned down the church. And they burned down the church, and it was part of this large plan of drawing all of the soldiers in Hagåtña to this area. And so then some of their friends in Hagåtña would then attack and kill the Spanish in Hagåtña. Unfortunately, although the church did burn down, the plan, it never went through. So, for those of you who have me from Guam history, or who have had Guam history, what's it called? Do you remember the story of Fu'una and Puntan?
Yeah.
And so they say that Hilaan has a role in that story, because Hilaan, one of the definitions of it means the place of the tongue. And so they say that it's possible that Puntan's tongue is somewhere around here. This area was made with Puntan's tongue. Another possible meaning of it is hula in ancient Chamorro means to swear. It means tongue literally, but it's also the verb to swear or to make a promise. And so it could also mean that there was some sort of, the people here were very good. They were very good at keeping their word. They were very good with their tongues. Who knows what? But yes, your imaginations can think whatever they want, because we don't know for sure. All right. But, yeah, so follow me. So there's a bunch of different ladystones, and as we're checking them out, notice the different styles, the different sizes, the different types. And wherever you see the artifacts, look around you too, because you might see different forms of different types of artifacts too. Pottery shards, pieces of tools or jewelry.
Go for it. Better now.
SCOTUS!
Everyone please, in your own way, ask for permission. So this was an area, the ancient tomorrow is buried, they're dead under their will be around artifacts or near them and you won't even realize it. So this one sticks out right here, but if you actually look in the jungle right here, you'll actually find 4 or 5 more laddie back there. And then behind you over there, there's one over there, there's one right there behind you, there's a lusong right down there. The lusong is the mortar and pestle used for grinding medicine or food. And so look at this one. This one is completely different than the ones that you just saw over there. Not only is the haligi, or the base, totally different, as in either it's possible that this was smoothed down over time, but if not, then whoever made this took great pains to smooth it down. And then look at the top here, coral. Actually, almost all, the majority of laddie are made out of coral. But what happens is, for this one, they left the coral grain in. So this could have been a piece of coral that was already sort of shaped nicely like a tasa, and so they just kind of harvested it like this, took it, and then put it on top of the haligi.
Oh, I bought for these guys.
So yeah,
These guys must have been really blood.
a lot of times
Yeah, the blood, bro.
they wouldn't take the nice coral grain. They would either carve around it, but then
Half only. Only 50%.
there's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right here.
Oh, okay.
You're in the bedroom, man.
And one right there.
Oh,
Not
wow.
want to be standing up.
And see, so you have to visualize laddie. So whenever you see a single laddie in the jungle, visualize how it would line up in 2 rows. And so if you see one like this, you can either look, oh, would it go this way?
Oh, that's rich.
Or would it go this way? And so if you just look around, you see this one over here.
This was a suite.
And then if you look
Yeah,
at
probably right.
It is
Massive bedroom.
That one was standard.
there's another haligi right there.
Oh.
And so this was actually a pretty long house. So the way that laddie stones tended to work was the more you would have, the larger they would be. But this one was an 8, probably. But they're still pretty short, pretty small. But yeah, take pictures of them. That's really cool. Alright. If you'll notice, if you look back that way, this place looks very different than a lot of the other jungle around here. And so you have to wonder, because the jungle is almost kind of naturally clear here. And so throughout this area you'll find a lot of artifacts. So people have put
myself, is it better not said? Now I'm closer.